What if the most used blockchain in the world is the one no one is talking about? What if the real rails of crypto payments are not being built by Ethereum or Solana, but by a chain most dismissed years ago? What if the biggest engine for real-world stablecoin adoption is already live and hiding in plain sight? That blockchain is Tron. And once you understand how it works, you will never look at crypto infrastructure the same way again. Let us start with where we are in 2025. Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs are live. The United States and Europe are easing rates. Liquidity is coming back. But this time, capital is rotating differently. Institutions are not just looking for hype. They are looking for infrastructure, real-world adoption, rails that already work. And while everyone else is chasing the next layer too, Tron is quietly processing more than $7 billion a day in stablecoin transfers. Let that sink in. That is more than Ethereum, more than Solana, more than any other chain, period. But the market may have missed one key detail. Because Tron is not just a blockchain. It is a settlement layer, a global value transfer network used by millions of people every single day. And yet, it barely trends on crypto Twitter. Now here is the twist. While Ethereum is still optimizing Layer 2 rollups, while Solana is refining priority fees and client upgrades, while newcomers are building modular stacks and ZK solutions, Tron is doing something very different. It is moving money fast, cheap, and at scale. And that changes everything. Let us break it down. Tron launched in 2017. Back then, it was easy to ignore. The branding was flashy. The founder Justin Sun was polarizing. Critics dismissed it as a copy of Ethereum. But here is what most people do not realize. Between 2020 and 2023, Tron matured. It stabilized. It focused on a narrow use case, stablecoin payments, and optimized for scale. By 2024, over $50 billion in Tether was circulating on Tron alone. And by early 2025, it became the #1 blockchain for stablecoin issuance and usage. Not #1 by theory. #1 by actual volume. Now let us talk architecture. Tron uses a delegated proof-of-stake system. It is powered by 27 super representatives, elected by TRX holders. These nodes validate transactions, govern upgrades, and rotate based on community voting. And while it is not as decentralized as Ethereum or Cosmos, the structure works. It is stable. It is active. And it has handled billions in volume without major downtime for over 3 years. But this is where it gets even more interesting. Because unlike most chains, Tron does not make users pay gas fees the usual way. It uses a resource model, bandwidth, and energy. Users can freeze TRX to obtain resources and reduce transaction costs. This makes it perfect for users in low-income regions who cannot afford high gas fees. It also creates a powerful incentive loop. Lock TRX. Use the network. Save fees. It is simple. And it is effective. But here is what really matters. Tron is not just built for traders. It is not designed for NFT speculation or gaming hype. It is designed for the real world. Let us look at where it is being used. In Nigeria, thousands of merchants now accept stablecoin payments over Tron rails. In Venezuela, Crypto wallets powered by Tron are helping people bypass hyperinflation. In India, P2P exchanges are defaulting to Tron as their primary transfer layer due to low fees and high reliability. And in Latin America, Tron is being explored for national stablecoin pilots, with 2 countries already testing native asset tokenization on the network. This is not theory. This is happening right now. But this is where it gets bold. In Q2 of 2025, Tron DAO announced a pilot called Project RealFi. It aims to bring real-world asset tokenization, including remittance corridors and national currencies directly on-chain. Not on Ethereum, not on a modular L2, on Tron, because the rails are already in place. The users are already there. And the network has proven it can handle volume. This changes everything. But let us pause and be real. There are risks, and we need to talk about them. First, centralization. Justin Sun still holds significant influence over the ecosystem. Although governance has matured and the DAO is more active, critics argue the ecosystem is not as decentralized as it claims. Second, regulation. In 2023, the United States SEC filed a civil complaint against Sun for alleged securities violations and market manipulation. That case is still unresolved, and it could cast a long shadow over Tron's credibility with institutions. Third, developer culture. Tron's GitHub activity is not nearly as robust as Ethereum or Cosmos. Its ecosystem is dominated by payments, not general-purpose dApps. That limits the pace of experimentation and innovation. But now let us look at the other side. Because the bull case for Tron is not built on hype. It is built on metrics, stablecoin volume, transaction count, user retention, network uptime, merchant integrations, real-world settlement at scale. This is where Tron excels, and no other chain comes close. So let us compare. Ethereum is dominant for composability and DeFi. Solana is a beast for consumer-facing speed. Cosmos is flexible and modular. But Tron? Tron is infrastructure. It is the layer 1 that people actually use, especially in regions where crypto adoption matters most. And that is what makes TRX so unique. It is not a hype asset. It is a utility token, used for staking, used for governance, used to access network resources that power a multi-billion-dollar transaction layer. And now institutions are starting to notice. Here's what happened recently. Stably, a stablecoin issuer, expanded its treasury operations to Tron. BitTorrent Chain, a cross-chain protocol linked to Tron, saw a 3x spike in bridging activity. WorldRemit, a remittance service provider, announced plans to explore stablecoin settlements on Tron for Southeast Asia. And HTX Ventures, formerly Huobi, allocated over $20 million to grow DeFi apps on Tron and its extended ecosystem. This is not noise. This is signal. And the signal is clear. Tron is no longer just an alt loan. It is a critical part of the crypto plumbing layer. Now let us talk tokenomics. TRX has a circulating supply of around 88 billion tokens. But here is the key: Tron burns tokens. A portion of transaction fees are burned automatically. To date, over 15 billion TRX have been permanently removed from circulation. That introduces a deflationary dynamic. At scale, add in staking, governance participation, and lock TRX for bandwidth, and you get a very sticky token model. It is solid, and sometimes that is enough. As of mid-2025, TRON DAO is in discussions with a top 5 global remittance provider to build native stablecoin rails across 3 continents. If that deal goes through, TRX could become the settlement token behind billions of dollars in weekly transactions. That is no longer about crypto. That is fintech infrastructure. That is digital cash. And that is asymmetric upside. Let us talk builders. The developer scene on Tron is different. It is not chasing the latest meme meta. It is building wallets, payment rails, stablecoin services, and tools for financial inclusion. Tron is also rolling out WASM smart contract support in Q4 of this year, enabling easier onboarding for traditional software devs. And if the RWA protocol succeeds, we could see an entirely new class of builders entering the Tron ecosystem focused not on hype, but on compliance, remittances, and public sector partnerships. So what does this mean for you? If you are an investor, TRX offers a unique risk-reward profile. It is not going to 100x overnight. But if stablecoins continue to dominate crypto transaction volume, and if real-world adoption remains the core metric that matters, then TRX is not optional. It is core infrastructure. If you are a builder, Tron offers tools few chains can match. Predictable low fees. Global user base. Established stablecoin liquidity. And a DAO actively funding development across regions. If you are a trader, TRX offers high liquidity and deep pairings, especially on Asian exchanges where Tron is king. It is not flashy, but it is reliable. And in crypto, reliability is underrated. Let us wrap this up. TRX is not a meme. It is not a ghost chain. It is not a VC-fueled speculative bet. It is infrastructure. It is value transfer. It is used every single day, at scale. And in this cycle, usage matters more than ever. Because when regulation comes, when liquidity returns, when the world looks for real crypto utility, chains like Tron will not need to pivot. They will already be running. If you value deep research like this, subscribe to Crypto Wayfarer. Because we are not chasing hype. We are decoding infrastructure. And this story is not over. Stay sharp. Stay strategic. And keep wayfaring.